Everyone knows to run an elite defense, you need some kind of pressure in College Football 25. So in this video, we're gonna talk about the best blitzes, and as a bonus, I'm gonna tell you how to beat them as well. Now we're starting out with the dragged linebacker loop blitz. This is an incredibly good style of blitzing where you're just gonna move over a linebacker, and when this ball gets snapped, you're gonna see that this blitz comes in very, very well. But there's a few more things that go into actually setting this up. Right now, we're in the 3-3-5 tight defensive playbook. This can be found being ran by teams like Georgia, West Virginia, Appalachian State, and a few others that are shown on the screen right here. Now, for this blitz, let me first just select a offensive play. Let's go curl flat. For this blitz to work, we first want to click our right stick in, and then we want to go to auto foot defensive play call and go off right here, okay? That's the only thing we want to make sure happens. And then I'm going to go into the dime 2-3 odd, although this can work for a few other formations, and I want to call play that has a linebacker blitzing right now on the right side. So cover 4 quarters, if you look, has this linebacker on the right side blitzing. We could also do it from like Tampa 2 if we were to flip the play. We could do it from cover 3 buzz match. Anything that has this linebacker blitzing, right? Cover 4 palms in this case. So let's call this, and I like to shade my coverage underneath on any kind of zone coverage like cover 3 or cover 4. So it's wire triangle down the right stick. You don't have to do this. So right here, this is what the blitz originally looks like. If we snap this ball, you see that blitzer just comes straight downhill and he gets picked up. But what's weird here is that if you take him, right, and remember, you can switch players by holding B or circle and pushing the left stick in the direction that you want to switch to. Drag him over. Look at that blitzing angle. He stays kind of going in that right B gap. Now I'm going to user the other linebacker and just stand on top of the guard on that side. So like it looks right here. And we snap this ball, what we're going to see here is this loop that comes in incredibly, incredibly well. Now, keep in mind, let's say we had a play like cover 3 lock, okay? And I'm like, well, I'll just manually blitz this linebacker and then move him over. Notice what he does. He now switches that blitz angle to go to the B gap on the other side. And you'll see when we snap this ball that it gets picked up real easily. So the blitz angle here has to be stock. Now, I'm going to show you how to beat this blitz in a second, but let's showcase this out of another formation, shall we? And always keep in mind, practice mode can be weird with blitzes at times. That's something I want to make very, very clear and just point out to you guys. Yeah, always something to keep in mind. So let's go here, and we'll just go cover 2 man. Now remember, we want that linebacker blitzing stock off the right side. So I'm going to click the right trigger, go flip the play, okay? Now, we're here. Let me take him, and let me drag him across. So now you see he's in that looping angle. Now, we'll do the same thing right here. Now, this isn't great man coverage in this case because I'm using somebody, but I just want to show this concept working still, and we get that same loop. Now, obviously, coverage-wise, you wouldn't want to run necessarily that exactly, but just showing how a concept can apply to a lot of different things. Let's go here. Let's go cover 4 quarters from 3-4 odd, and now, same idea. Let's take this linebacker. Let's move him over. He's going to loop. Let's see if he comes in right here. We have a little bit different spacing. He loops, but just doesn't come in totally free. So this one might be one that you have to mess with a little bit where, you know, maybe I spread my defensive line. Now maybe we try. Let's see if this comes in. And again, I have no idea if it will or won't. And it does. We also get a shed as well. So how do you block this? What are we doing here to just take this blitz away? Well, we have a couple of different options here. First and foremost, one of the easiest options that works against a lot of these blitzes where there's a guy looping is running play action, okay? This will get the linebacker to go into his run fit. So let's go back here to dime 2-3 odd. Let's go to cover 4 quarters again. And I'm going to call the play PA shot wheel. But this works with the majority of play action. And what I want to do here is drag him over again, right? Everything's the exact same on the defensive side of the ball. But now we're just going to put a route combo on the field. I don't care what your route combo is, but we're going to keep this play action. Watch what this middle backer does this time. Notice how he didn't loop. He took a weird, he just kind of came straight down. He tried to loop for a second, and we can show this again. Get over here, okay? I'm gonna get my user down here. We'll say this is our route combo. Bang. And notice again, he doesn't loop. To prove the point, I'm now gonna audible to a non-play action play. Keep in mind, play action is always has the word PA in it. Let's go here. Let's send our halfback out. Okay, there's no play action happening on this play. And let's see if he loops or not. Now, he could get picked up, but we just make sure he loops. He does get picked up, but he is still looping. Now, mind you, a 4-man blitz is not going to be 100%, so just something to keep in mind. But notice how that time he looped, where this time I'm running play action. he does not loop, and he's going to get picked up very, very easily. Another way to slow this blitz down, which is not 100%, but is the idea of just calling a drop back pass. So any kind of normal pass play that you might call. So we'll go in this case, let's go curl flat. And let's actually block our halfback and then ID the mic, holding left bumper, tapping A, which allows me to change who this M icon's on. And then we're going to ID that looper as the mic. Okay, the guy who's getting dragged across. Now, we should be able to pick up this halfback, or we should be able to pick him up. I don't love this, and right there, he actually the halfback actually dumbs out right there, which is really, really nice. Keep in mind that blitz protections are not 100%. Let's go this again. Let's go without the mic. Let's go no mic. We're just going to block the halfback. This is why the play action's the first one I said. Everything else can be a little bit hit or miss. Right there, though, you do see the halfback picking him up. So blocking that halfback can also be helpful. Again, I don't love doing that method because it could just be super, super hit or miss. Now, there are other ways in certain formations that you could send your halfback out and, either ID this looper or ID, maybe a slot corner on that side. And it can help pick it up. It's just inconsistent. So that's why I want to show you in this video only ways that are super consistent at blocking these blitzes. So what do we want to do with this one? Run, play, action. That's huge. And while we're here, if you want entire defensive schemes based around some of the blitzes that we have inside this video and entire offensive schemes that are going to just dominate really any kind of defense you see, join over 2,000 active members who are part of my website, civil.gg. And right now, you can use code CIVIL30 and get a cool 30% off your membership literally right now. The link to that is in the top of the description. Over 98% of our players who have joined and started playing games after joining say they've won more games. What we do here, very, very cool. Now let's get back to the video. Now, there's a good chance you have seen this blitz before, and Jalen Milroe is an absolute dog and gets... Jalen Milroe is a cheat code in this game. We are going to be talking about nickel double mug mid blitz 0, and I'm going to expand upon this defense a little bit in this little segment here. Now we're in the 4-2-5 defensive playbook, which can be found for being ran by a bunch of teams. I am in an actual game here against myself. I have 2 controllers, and we have Alabama against Alabama just in the Pop-Tarts Bowl. Reason for this, dang, I'm trying to get the first down, so we're not on 3rd and 26. Reason for this is because sometimes blitzes are just weird in practice mode, and mid-blitz is one of those ones that can just be a little bit odd with the pickup and everything, so I want to give you guys an actual real example of this. Let's go pick up this first down, and then let's talk about how to run this, because honestly, it's pretty simple, but there's something you could do to make this way, way better. So let's call mid-blitz 0, okay, out of the double mug, and what we want to do is we want to user the safety who's manned up onto the halfback, okay? That in and of itself is the most basic thing, but we want to take him and get this little green check mark over him. Now, a lot of people will just leave it at that, and they will, do this, cool, and the blitz can kind of come in, but if they block a halfback and get picked up, I'm going to show you the next step for what you want to do here, and again, we're just talking purely from a blitz standpoint, is you want to get your user down here and hold left trigger. This is going to make you strafe at the snap, and I like to shuffle like one step inside unless that halfback goes out on a route. So I'm watching the halfback right here, and if he does a boom, we're going to go one step inside, and notice how we get a free runner on the quarterback. That is what manipulates this so much, is that little shuffle, because the offensive line, let's count how many people are on the line of scrimmage on defense right here, right? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and guess what? That makes it 6, okay? So the offensive line immediately has 6 people we have to account for. We take our user, we get right here, and then we just shuffle. Well, they have to account as me for an extra blitzer, which makes 7, meaning that if they only block 6 people, it's going to be very, very hard for them to block this. Does that make sense? So we're here again. Boom, we're going to shuffle. And if you don't get a great shuffle, they can they can pick this up. So just keep that in mind. With that being said, though, the halfback method of blocking this is just not great, in my opinion. The halfback gets shedded a ton. But if you find yourself getting blocked, you can either try changing where you're standing, because this can sometimes manipulate the offensive line, or just make sure you're getting close enough right here. And again, we're not doing a good job, so let me actually shift where I'm standing to see if we're able to get this blitz to come free yet again. And again, sometimes it's just a little trial and error based on the formation that they're in, or based on whatever blitz, whatever protection scheme they're running. You can totally change a protection scheme by hovering right here, right here, or really anywhere. Like, you could change it a ton. So here, I'm going to go on this tackle, and I'm going to shuffle like this inside, and now you see we're able to get this blitz coming in again. Jalen Milroe is going to do what he does. Okay, very, very easy. Now, here's the thing. Cover 0 is very easy to pick apart, right? If you block this blitz, it's a lot of free touchdowns, a lot of free yardage, especially with how good Rack is in this game. So with that being said, here's some stuff that we could do. First, I'm going to talk about something that's kind of advanced, and I'm gonna make it really, really easy for everybody. Let's go into just, what play do we want to call here? Give me okay, we'll call it double slant. Why not? First thing, if we double tap wire triangle, and then we can select any of our DBs, we can go from a play that looks like this on defense to something that looks more like this, where we don't just have one-on-one coverage everywhere. And then we're able to actually, play some coverage, get help over the middle, use her a little bit. We're going to be giving things up, but we're also going to be playing, better than just man-to-man. So if you double tap wire triangle and select any DB, you could put him in any zone, okay? You could do this very, very fast. Look, I'm right here. Double tap Y or triangle. Let's select my outside right corner and put him in an outside third up on the left stick. Now he's in the outside third. Now let's create a cover 3 shell on that back end, okay? Now we look like this, okay? Notice how fast I do that. I did that for every individual person. That's advanced. It takes time to get good at that, but just something I wanted to show you. And then, we're going to do our little shuffle. Now, they can't just expect man coverage every single time, right? You could go something like this right here, where we go, let's say we want to do this. And, heck, I've even seen people run this with a slot corner. I wouldn't do that, but just an idea that technically you could do, right? Shuffle in, bang, we get picked up. But even right there, you see how fast this defense sheds. Very, very frustrating, and all it takes is one turnover. Now, next way we could run this bad boy is actually by calling a play called Nickel Dog 3 Buzz, which is going to look very similar to mid blitz, okay? Where I use that high safety again, but now we're actually inside of a zone coverage look, okay? So we're going to press wire triangle with this down the right stick. That's going to shade underneath. And then I'm just going to take my slot corner on the left and put him in some kind of zone. So we're looking like this, okay? I'll walk through that again here in a second, but you should see instructions on the screen. Right here, they're thinking heavy blitz, heavy blitz. Oh, shoot, he only sent 4, right? Now, they're totally wrong on what play call they're calling because they think it's a heavy man blitz. In reality, you just bluff the heck out of them. Okay, let's go again. Nickel Dog 3 Buzz. This is my bluff, okay? We're going to press wire triangle down the right stick. That's going to turn off match coverage, get us some hard flats on the field. Then we're just going to either select this slot corner on the right and put him in a vert hook by pressing A or X on him down the left stick. Or, whoops, double tap wire triangle, select him, and then go down the left stick. Again, they're thinking, oh, heavy blitz, heavy blitz, heavy blitz. Nope, just kidding. And you can get some pretty good sheds right here. A lot of people force the ball, and you're able to get an easy interception. So there's a couple things right there, right? We can send a heavy blitz, but also it's really good to bluff them like I just showed. Couple of ways we can attack this, okay? First and foremost, one of the easiest ways to attack the style blitz is not even playing against it, but just going jet touch pass. Seriously, it's one of the best ways to attack it. Let me kind of show you what this would look like from a defensive standpoint, where, we're right here. And again, any kind of jet touch pass you have in your playbook can do really, really well. Oh, my controller just fell. It's okay. Trying to do 2 controllers is very, very tough. I'll be honest with you guys. But you kind of see right there, we're able to get a pretty big gain. And had I not had 2 controllers, no, you could obviously get more and more. Next way I want to block this is by calling some sort of just what I call a good route combo. So let me give you an example of this, like inside switch right here. We'll call that from Gun Bunch Tight End, Alabama playbook. Let's go mid blitz. And I want to block my tight end. This is how we're going to set up blocking. We're going to block our tight end, then ID the mic, hold left bumper, select Air X, and we're going to ID the mic on the end opposite of the tight end. This will do a really good job against this blitz for the most part. Then from here, maybe we do a route combo like this. Please don't jump off sides. Ah, we jumped. Let's do a route combo that we're going to be able to attack both man coverage and zone coverage, just in case they're doing something kind of frisky on us, okay? Let's go something like this right here, inside switch. Okay, let's set this up a little bit faster this time. Okay, so we're ready. Let's block my tight end. I'm going to ID that mic here in a second. Cool, so I want this route combo. Cool. Let me ID him. Oh, the IDs. Sometimes the IDs will reset, which is annoying. And it actually looks like he's kind of resetting on his own right here. But we are able to pick this up nonetheless. And then it's just about blocking it. Okay, so blocking your tight end is a major way that we're going to be able to block this style blitz. Any kind of overload blitz that goes for, by the way. So I love, like, underneath route combos. If you go for something super deep, it's gonna be really, really hard just to be able to get that time. But you go for something maybe like this, where we have a lot of fast developing routes, then we set up protection right here. Why? I wonder if it's because I'm using 2 controllers in an offline game that I'm having issues setting up the mic. You'd want to, there we go. You'd want to ID that mic on that guy. But right here, you see, again, we're able to block it, able to hit a quick read, because they will shed you. They're sending a lot of pressure. And then from there, we're able to get something going in the pass game. We're able to get something going in the jet touch pass game. Also, something else that I can do a good job here, and this can be hit or miss, but like our off tackles. So over here, let's go, you know, a little off tackle action. Bang. And you have potential, if you're able to block, to bust this for a big gain. The run game is very hit or miss against the double mug, but when it hits, you can imagine it is very, very good, because if you get past that first level, you have a lot of space to be able to go. Right here, oh, and you kind of see, like, we have the opportunity, just not getting it right there. If you get auto-shedded, you can double-team the guy who's instantly shedding you. And, again, I think it's kind of bugging out my offensive line adjustments are. I think because I'm using 2 controllers. But if we could just block. Again, very hit or miss, but something else to keep in mind. I've heard some people have a ton of success with like QB blasts and other things. So next style of blitzing we're going to talk about here is what I call engage blitzing, okay? Now, the idea behind here is that you have a linebacker who you are going to blitz, and then you're going to take the other linebacker or some kind of defensive player, usually a linebacker, and stand in the gap that that guy's blitzing into and hold your left stick down. So what you want to do is get into the gap first, okay? Get off the left stick, then push this down. What that's going to do is when the ball is snapped, you're going to engage, and then you're going to try bailing like you see right there. Notice what's going to happen, okay? That blitzer is going to come totally free. So the type of play you want to call for this is something where you don't already have a linebacker blitzing. So cover 3 buzz, you don't want to do it to, because that blitz angle isn't necessarily what we want. Cover 4 drop, which is right here behind my face cam, that's the one you'd rather call in this case, or other ones that have both linebackers not blitzing, because we're going to essentially, let me call the play, we are going to be able to blitz this guy, get him going straight down, and then we're going to get our user in the gap to engage right where he's coming from. Now, one thing to keep in mind is that this is much better when the defensive line is spread out. Some formations, you'll have to spread your defensive line. Others, you won't. So right here, I'm going to spread my defensive line, blitz that guy, and go stand right here. Now I'm going to push the left stick down, engage, and then bail. It's a little bit of a timing, but you kind of get the idea of when you want to, of like how long you want to wait. Right now, I'm doing this out of the 3-3-5 mint defensive, 3-3-5 mint formation, out of the 3-3-5 tight defensive playbook. We've already talked about this playbook some, and this is why it's my favorite playbook in the game. But the playbook, the teams that run this can be seen on the screen right here. Now, called mint. Let's go. We can do this on Tampa 2. Why not? I like this only setting 4 people, but you could do it with 5. Let's spread that defensive line, blitz that guy, and let's go stand in the gap like this. And actually, so sometimes you'll see that happen, which is kind of crazy. I don't love it, but it is just reality of this. And yeah, so you can probably tell pretty quickly why this could be a pretty annoying blitz. With that being said, a lot of people actually don't love running this blitz because it leaves you pretty susceptible to different things. So let's talk about how we're going to beat this blitz now. And I'm going to go to cover 4 drop. And really, it actually is, I don't want to say obvious, but like there's some major issues with this blitz that we can kind of exploit pretty quickly. First of all, let's just go with the idea of calling play action. And any kind of play action will pretty much stop this blitz as long as you just keep that play action. So let's go here, right, bang. And you see that halfback picks him up pretty easily. So there's that. If you want to, you can block your halfback on any kind of play. So block your halfback. Then I like to identify the mic on that defensive tackle. And then when we do this, this should block it as well. So we go here. Bang. Notice he gets picked up. Boom. Now keep in mind, your halfback is getting a one-on-one with that linebacker. So, you know, there is that to keep in mind, right? He could get shedded pretty fast, but that's an easy way to block this as well. The other issue with this too is, let's think about this for a second, right? Let's imagine a streak from the tight end on the right. My user's right here, and the guy behind him's blitzing. So who's going to cover that middle of the field when my user engages? Nobody. So there's actually a major coverage flaw in this style of defense as well that if you're a good passer, you could get exposed by. Now, keep in mind, if you're a smart defensive player, you could bluff this, bang, and then let's say you work up and, you could try baiting that throw if you were to quick throw it, right? Let's actually get rid of that play action. Let's do it this time where, right, this is kind of what that would look like. I'm going to essentially bait this throw, right? I know they want to attack that seam. They've already done it once. They want to throw it fast. Boom. Oh, just kidding. You can't do that. And, you're able to bait it. You can still blitz that backer if you wanted to, et cetera, et cetera. This is a good blitz for containing the quarterback. Keep that in mind. I do love that. So you can always contain. Right here, I'm going to bait this again. Oh, you want a quick throw? Nope, you can't. Boom, I'm there. Turnover just like that. And that's the style. Oh, nice. That's how you want to, like, in my opinion, that's a good way to play defense. Like, just looking to bait someone, catch them off guard one time. Because then, they're a little bit more hesitant to throw it, whatever. Then you're able to get them behind the chains. And just like that, we're able to get a sack, et cetera, et cetera. And if you get someone where they're throwing over the middle a lot, to me, that's not the worst thing ever. Because that is, like, a lot of times your user is in that area and they'll make a mistake. And one mistake is a turnover. That turnover is GG's. That's how you win games. You win games by obviously getting stops. But if you can get turnovers, you're going to win a lot of those games. Now, this is one of the most popular blitzes pretty much every single year. This is another version of a loop blitz, but it's out of a play called cross 3 fire in the 3-4 odd. Now, this can be replicated out of a bunch of formations. Essentially, you're looking for something called cross, like LB cross, or just some kind of cross in there. Right now, we're in 3-4 odd inside the multiple defensive playbook, but 3-4 odd can be found inside of like 3-3-5 tight, multiple, the 3-4 playbook. All the playbooks can be found out of are on the screen right here. Now, when we call this, the reason people would like this rather than, the other styles of loop blitzes that we did already, like the drag loop blitz, is this one, you really don't need to move any players manually outside of just like, you just want some space in the middle. So what we're trying to do here, and you kind of see it right there, is we're trying to open up space in the middle for this loop to happen. So remember, this can be done on pretty much any play that has a natural middle linebacker looping type thing like we see right here where, I don't know what his name is. Vilamu Asa? I super butchered that. I apologize. But he's kind of looping around the defensive tackle. Now here, I'm just going to spread my defensive line. That's left on the D-pad, up on the left stick. Then I'm going to spread my linebackers right on the D-pad, up on the left stick. And we're just going to zone out the right middle linebacker. So our play looks like this. Reason for that, we just want to create space in the middle to distract the offensive line to the sides, where then we can loop through this open A gap. And you see again, he comes free. He just gets engaged with a little bit, okay? So if we run this a few times, you'll kind of see this be pretty consistent. And it's much faster to set up than having to drag somebody. And we don't have to engage with our user either. Our user could be back here. One thing to note with this is that it can be less consistent than some other blitzes. And you want a good linebacker looping. I believe it comes down to a couple of different attributes, although I haven't super pinpointed it exactly. One, this linebacker right here, you want speed. Faster the better, just to get through faster. Acceleration as well plays into that. I think pursuit can actually play a major factor in this as well, just how he's actually going to run his angle. Because if he doesn't do a good job looping, he won't come free. But you see right here, we actually get a shed, which kind of messes it up. And he never actually gets blocked. He just super loops. So, really easy. Do it on a 3-4 out. We're just going to spread D-line, spread backers. Different formations may have a slightly different setup. Now, how would we block this bad boy? Well, one of the easier, you see he's kind of doing a crazy loop right there. And you see it's not coming in every single time. A couple different things that we could do here is, again, with the loop style blitz, we can run a play action play. And that can mess up the loop a little bit. So let's set this up. And let's audible to some kind of play action. We'll go PA dig. And let's see how this loop goes. So watch linebacker on the left. We're going to call this. Notice he doesn't loop anymore. So, and that's a rule of thumb. A lot of loop blitzes will struggle against PA. So when you run that play action, you can even tap right trigger to cancel the play action just to make it go by faster. And it's just going to be a tool that you have in your toolbox, okay? Another way that you can slow some of these down is by simply IDing the looper as the mic. So let's see if that works right here or not. It's hit or miss. Some of them it works on, some of them it doesn't. So hold left bumper, tap A or X, and then let's go grab him as the mic. Okay. And I want to... Okay, let's send out our tight end. Okay. Let's snap this ball. Let's see if that loop gets picked up. Kind of does, although guy comes free off the right edge. I don't know if that was a shed or not. But just another way that we can. Easiest thing to do, though, is to run play action. Something some people will do, I'll be super honest with you, is some people who pass the ball are good enough to where they'll actually kind of let this blitz come in. They won't even care. And they'll just send a route combo out that they're trying to get rid of the ball before that blitz comes in. Now, it's a risky way to play, but it is something you could do where if you're able to make these quick reads, and right there is not a good read, you're able to make these quick reads, you can live like that to an extent, okay? But this is one of my favorite, like, I love having some kind of cross blitz like this in my arsenal, just because it takes 2 seconds to set up, not even, and you're just able to hoop from there. Nice. And especially you can mix in our other blitzes with this. It's really, really good. 2-3-6, or I think Dime 3-2, the 3-2 playbook has this. 2-5 Mint has a version of this. A lot of different versions of this. If you found value in learning how to beat and run the best blitzes in College Football 25, then you need to check out my website, civil.gg. Join over 2,000 active members and use code CIVIL30 for 30% off. Unlock everything you need to actually start winning more games in College Football 25.